Oh, man. I've been everywhere this summer, so I just got back from Newfoundland. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but I was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And Newfoundland's next door to it, and they talk really funny over there. And this is what they say. If they want to ask you, who are your parents? They say, who the frig knit yo? Which means, who the frig knit you? And then they always end it with boy, whether you're a guy or a girl, so it goes, my boy is by. Who the frig knit you by? And then you're supposed to say, oh, my parents, Winnie and Joe, Poltz. My mom was a McMullen from Cape Breton. And then they go, oh, okay, and they walk away. So it's kind of cool going over there. Just played a couple festivals back there. It was super fun. And I wrote that song, Folk Singer, because I just played at the Philadelphia Folk Festival. I think I played the night before Loudon played. I played the day before, and I was like, I want a folk anthem to play there, and it went over really well. It started raining a little bit. It was super fun. But you guys sang just as great as those guys did.
So everything in this next song is true. Everything. And I don't know if you guys know, but today is the 50th anniversary of the Beatles playing Dallas. Which is
crazy. This is the day the Beatles played Dallas. Pretty wonderful.
But there.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I wish that I would have been there. That would have been great. But everything in this song is totally true. The scariest part about this song is the verse that talks about making my first communion at the Catholic Church. Because they tell you you're going to eat Jesus' body. And I was the 100th kid in line, and I thought his body would be gone. The parts I wanted the leg. Like dark meat. Well, we first moved to the USA all the way from Canada. And we drove across the continent from Nova Scotia to Pasadena. My sister and me and my mom and dad, from the cold to the sunny south. There were palm trees growing and it was not snowing, and I never did shut my mouth. Well, we drove on over to the courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. We put our hands on a Bible and we swore as a family that we were not communist. When we drove away, I started to cry. They said, what's wrong, son, are you sick? I said, I don't want to be an American, I want to be a Catholic. We taught Hollywood and baseball in the car. The voice of Vince Scully, oh man, it would travel really far. So cool, listen to the voice of Vince Scully call Los Angeles Dodgers games with my dad in the backyard pulling weeds. He'd say, there's an eerie spiderweb shadow coming in at Chavez Ravine in right field. Sandy Koufax comes out to the mound and he's up to his hips in alligators. And I'd go, up to his hips in alligators? My dad would explain it to me. Well, I made my first communion in St. Rita's Catholic Church. There was incense choking and a priest was smoking. There was a choir up in the purge. My face got red and my stomach felt bad. They said, if you're gonna get sick, use a cup. Well, I thought by the time it was my turn for communion, Jesus would be all eaten up. We taught Hollywood and baseball in the car. The voice of Jack Buck, oh man, it would travel really far. Jack Buck, voice of the St. Louis Cardinals till he passed away. He was a poet. What a voice. Sounded like it was soaked in whiskey and cigarettes. I'm in on the bottom of the ninth inning, the Wizard of Oz, Willie McGee. I don't believe what I just saw. bad, so we moved to the desert to a city called Palm Springs. We trick-or-treated at Liberace's house. Each finger had a diamond ring. We met Elvis Presley in the middle of the summer, and he hugged my sister for far too long. Now I felt kind of weird, but I would have pimped her out just to hear him sing a song. We talked Hollywood and baseball in the car. The voice of Harry Carey, oh man, it would travel really far. Harry Carey, rest in peace too. He was the voice of the Chicago Cubs. When he talked and announced games, he was always kind of drunk and could never pronounce the names of the players from the Dominican Republic. So say he was going to announce like Victor Espinosa, he'd go, I loved Harry Carey. Anyways, the guy that lived across the street from us was the manager of the airport, and he said, Steve, Kathy, Elvis Presley will be coming and landing on a private plane at 3 p.m. You guys can meet him if you'd like. Holy jeepers, Mr. Rice, yes, we'd love to. So we rode our bikes down to the tarmac, laid them down, ran the last 100 yards. We heard the engines of a plane buzzing in the distance, the squeak of the tires as the plane landed. We ran down the runway. It was about 120 degrees in the summer in Palm Springs. Heat was rising up off the tarmac. The steps came down, and out came Elvis Presley, larger than life. He was dressed in black leather. He didn't care about the weather. He had a pompadour and pork chop sideburns, and it was comeback special Elvis. He waited for us to come to him. Rockstar Cool Handbook rule number 1, wait for fans to come to you and act like it's business as usual. He had it down pat. He just waited for us, and then he said, sounds like you kids been a-running. And I said, yeah, to catch you, Elvis. It was 1969, and he picked me up in the air and swung me round and round, tossed my hair. He gave me his autograph on a piece of paper he casually ripped out of a notebook he was holding. And then he hugged my sister Kathy. She was a little bit older than me and already had boobs, so he hugged her for a little bit longer. So I remember feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I didn't know whether I should protect her or offer her up. So I said, it's okay, Elvis, you can have her. But then he just talked to us for what seemed like forever. He was never in a hurry. He was peaceful, Zen Elvis, till finally one of his assistants came up and said, come on, boss, we gotta go. So we waved goodbye to the king and rode our bikes home high on the trail of success. Nothing could ruin our happy moods. Sure, the Vietnam War was looming over us, and assassinations and drug overdoses were all over the papers. But all we knew is Elvis Presley was our best friend, and we were fans for life. When I got home that night, I pulled my trusty guitar out of the case and I practiced for hours and hours. And that was the night I learned how to play I Can't Help Falling in Love with You and Blue Suede Shoes. Because life is full of memory markers. Some memories are brighter than others, and this is one memory I'll never forget. The day I met peaceful, Zen Elvis and offered him my sister. Now one of my earliest memories was John Kennedy getting shot. And my mom was crying and ironing clothes, and my face felt really hot. I watched the funeral on TV. It was there in black and white. I saw a son salute his father's flag-draped coffin. Things did not seem right. Now here I am, a growing-up boy at home on the 4th of July. I'm staring out at the ocean and the fireworks in the sky. I miss my friends who aren't around, the ones who passed away. Well, I'm feeling kinda grateful here on Independence Day. We talk Hollywood and baseball in the car. The voice of Tom Cheek. Tom Cheek? What? He was the voice of the Toronto Blue Jays, if I do recall. Now, no Canadian team had ever won a World Series until I guess it was 1992. And they were trying to repeat in 1993. Who were they playing? Philadelphia Phillies. Who was on the mound? Mitch, the Wild Thing Williams for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's pitching, he's going against Joe Carter from Oklahoma City. Joe Carter. Joe Carter hits a home run, a walk-off home run. But the announcer is giving Joe Carter crap at first. He's the announcer for the Blue Jays. And so he goes, John was having trouble trying to lay out that pitch low to the outside part of the plate, and he just went after one. Then Joe Carter hits a walk-off home run, and as his foot touches second base, Tom Cheek, who's now deceased, says, "Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life." Well, my dad went nuts, you know. He was in the Royal Canadian Air Force. He ran out in the front yard naked, and the cops showed up. I've never been so proud of my father. And I think that's what the guy said. He said, "Touch 'em all, Joe." That's what I think I remember him saying. I'm going to see if I can make him say it if I plug this in here. I think what he says is...
Trying to lay off that ball, low to the outside part of the plate, and he just went after one. 2 balls and 2 strikes on it. Here's the pitch on the way, a swing and a belt, left field, way back, Blue Jays win it! The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
We talk Hollywood and baseball in the car. The voice of Tom Cheek, it would travel really far. I get allergies and asthma in the yard, and no one ever told me growing up would be so hard. Touch 'em all, Joe.